Okay, so hi guys. I've got Nikki here today, and we'll just jump straight into it, shall we? So, Nikki, first question.
Yeah.
Can you just share a little bit about who you are, what you do, what your passion is in relation to oils? And yes,
Go from there. So I'm Nikki. I am a paediatric emergency nurse. I work at Starship Children's Hospital, and I love my job.
Mm-hmm.
I am also a trained nutrition and lifestyle coach. So I work one-on-one with mums, majority mums, busy mums that are not prioritising their own health. And yeah, I love doing that as well. And I'm also a mum of one and soon to be two, 24 weeks pregnant. So yeah,
beautiful.
That's kind of who I am. And in terms of how I came to really love essential oils and use them in my life, I was when my daughter was it was when I was pregnant actually, and I just had this huge desire to detox my life. I started looking at the things that I was putting on my skin, that I was using in my home, and I really wanted to do better. And up until that point, obviously because I am medically trained, I had been using conventional medication, and obviously I still use it every day in my job. And so I'm definitely not anti-medication at all, but I think that this journey has really taken me to a point of being preferring to use something natural, particularly with my young family, before having to revert to conventional medication. And so I ended up purchasing some oils from a friend who was very evidence-based, because that mattered to me. I wanted to know that there was science backing this,
for sure.
and that it wasn't just pretty smells, and I wasn't getting sucked into anything. And so I purchased through a friend who was a registered dietitian and very heavy on the research as well, and just started having some awesome experiences with replacing things in my home, and making DIY swaps, but using natural tools on my daughter. And,
beautiful.
Having success with that.
Beautiful. Awesome. And so you've got some essential oils here.
I do.
Awesome. So what positive outcomes or results have you seen in relation to oils and mums and bubs, especially in relation to sleep deprivation, maternal anxiety, that sort of stuff?
I think this is a huge area, and a lot of women will come to me with that particular need. Pretty much everyone who is interested in essential oils has some kind of pain point, and for a lot of them it is sleep, it is stress, it is anxiety, and so I love to be able to deal with those particular issues. And when you are talking about sleep deprivation related to newborn life, there's a lot that we can do with essential oils. With newborns, I typically am. There's a few oils that are more appropriate to use for very young babies. And then there's lots of oils that we can have, that we have at our disposal to deal with the emotional side for the mums, because I see it in my job all the time, first time mums coming in, and just that experience of anxiety with a child that will not sleep. Perhaps their child has colic, or is spilly, and they're not familiar with all of these things. The anxiety that the mother feels, I believe and I see in practice, is picked up by the child. And so if we can help that mum feel like she has something to be able to help with her emotional turmoil and stress in that moment, that is going to have a positive onflow to that baby as well. So not only do we have awesome oils to be able to help that baby settle and sleep, we have a lot to be able to help with that mum as well. And I've had huge positive testimony from women who will text me the next night and be like, my baby just slept through the night for the first time in 7 months or whatever it is.
Yay.
Yeah, so but even just the empowerment that a woman would feel from having something to reach for in those moments of desperation.
Something practical.
Yep. And knowing that they have the tools at their disposal to be able to deal with those moments is hugely empowering for a lot of new mums. Yeah.
And how do you find oils go on baby's skin?
So I always dilute oils, and you're going to be diluting it very heavily with particularly newborns and younger children. doTERRA oils are very, very potent, and so we do need to dilute them. You definitely, if you are looking into essential oils, you do want to do your homework, because unfortunately essential oils have become a bit in vogue these days, and everyone is selling them, so you do want to do your homework.
Sorry guys.
Oh, there we go, we're back. You do want to do your homework and make sure that you are getting 100% pure oil in that bottle. You do not want to be messing around with any kind of synthetics, particularly with young children. You want to know that what is in that bottle is actually what it says it is. And so this is a brand that I know and trust to actually be true to what it is. So with essential oils, you're going to be heavily diluting it, because they are very potent, and even though they are natural, you do have to be safe with them, particularly with children. So as a blanket rule, always dilute your oils.
Beautiful.
And there's different places that you're going to be applying it to your baby. I relied quite heavily on the soles of the feet and up and down the spine when Hope was a newborn. If she got congested and I was using something, I would do it on her chest, so the heat from that from the chest helps it get up into the airways, things like that. So topical application is awesome for young children, and also you can use them aromatically, so obviously in a diffuser. And what that does is how the actual essential oil is helping your child to settle to sleep is due to what's called the chemical constituents in an oil. So they're harvested from obviously lots of different plants or trees or flowers all over the world, but every single essential oil has a chemical constituent makeup which actually gives it the properties to be able to do what it's meant to do. So when you're talking about lavender, for example, one of the heavy hitters is a constituent called linalool, which is responsible for the kind of calming, the soothing kind of aspects of what we want lavender to be doing. And so when you are either inhaling that or you are putting it on your skin to be absorbed by your body, what happens is it actually works on the limbic system, which is your emotional control center in the back of your brain, to bring about those effects and those things, and the same with anxiety with mums and sleep deprivation, and there's lots of oils that we can use for uplifting, for energy, so you're not completely relying on caffeine the whole day. And so there's lots that we can do in lots of different areas for newborn life.
That's so interesting, Nikki. So would you have any specific recommendations around oils that would be beneficial for either mum or bubs in relation to sleep, settling, maternal anxiety or stress?
All the big things. So I would say probably my top 3 oils that are great for newborn life. Frankincense. Frankincense oil is very, very well known. Centuries old, been used for millennia. And it is harvested from the resin of a tree. Frankincense has quite a woody aroma, but it's amazing for babies. And also it's my go-to for any kind of anxious feelings of overwhelm, things like that. So for mum and bubs, this will be a really, really good addition.
Amazing.
So frankincense is also what they call an amplifier oil. So it amplifies the effect of any other oil that you're using.
Wow.
Lavender, you will all be familiar with, is another great oil to have at home for that calming, that soothing, that self-settling for babies, applied topically or put in your diffuser to use aromatically. And what you can do is that if you have a couple of drops of lavender in your diffuser, you can add a drop of frankincense and it's going to amplify the effect of that lavender essential oil as well.
Amazing. Wow.
What you can do is you can dilute your oils into little roller bottles, which makes topical application really handy and really easy. I've got heaps of different rollers, lots of different things that I use on my daughter. Things for teething pain, things for upset tummies, things for boosting immunity, things for helping sleep, all the things. And then they're ready to go and ready to use. The last one that I recommend for babies is called Roman Chamomile, another really gentle oil that's really good for settling babies. So those three would be the ones that I would reach for the most for newborn babies.
Awesome.
These two here that I just brought out, this one is called Balance, and this is the grounding blend. This blend, basically I call it my Sane Mummy blend. It's a blend of oils that has been specifically formulated to help with stress, to make us feel grounded, and I put this on the soles of my feet every morning after a shower. It's a really awesome oil that I recommend all mums have to reach for in those moments where everything's just completely overwhelming. Great in the diffuser around 4:30, 5 o'clock when it's the witching hour and the kids are just losing the plot. So they benefit from that as well.
Awesome.
And the last one is called Lavender Peace. Now this is obviously has your lavender in it, but this particular blend has a whole lot of other oils in it that are really, really conducive to sleep. So things like cedarwood, ylang ylang, Roman chamomile, which we've talked about, vanilla, sandalwood, vetiver, lots of other really, really awesome sleep-inducing oils. So this one here, again, can be diluted and used with young children, but also for mum. So if you are struggling, you're breastfeeding multiple times a night, you're struggling to either get back to sleep or, whatever it is. It's a very, very calming, beautiful one to just diffuse during the day, just to help you feel a bit more zen, but also great for helping you get a really restful, restorative sleep, even if it is just 3 hours at a time, which it often is, and if you're lucky.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with waking babies, for a mum going back to sleep, it's that thinking that they're going to wake soon, and that process kind of brings on the anxiety, and that contributes to the lack of sleep and the sleep deprivation. So something like that is definitely useful for mums that have that thought process, that anxiety,
not able to shut their brains off.
That's amazing. And just with the limbic system, that's you learn something every day. It's so amazing. And so with the roller bottles, where would you find those?
So you can purchase 10ml roller bottles online, super cheap. You get a pack of 6 for $5 or something. And I can share with your listeners where to locate all of that.
Cool.
And then you would just dilute it with a carrier oil that you have. I recommend using one that's called fractionated coconut oil, which is like the coconut oil you would buy at the supermarket, except it never goes hard. So it's a good one. Not many people react to it. It doesn't have an odor, doesn't have a scent or anything. So really good to dilute things. If you've got something at home like a jojoba oil or a apricot kernel oil or an almond oil, all of those work really well as well. So it just has to be diluted, because the carrier oil actually helps the essential oil enter in the body faster.
Wow, with the absorption.
Yes. And it also makes the oil last longer in the body. So essential oils are very safe to use on babies. They have a short half-life. So for example, when you're comparing it to conventional medication, with paracetamol, you can't take any more for 4 to 6 hours afterwards, because your body has to process that and it has to go through the liver and be detoxified through the liver. With essential oils, they have a half-life of 30 minutes, which means you apply them to your skin. 30 minutes, all of that is gone, so you can either use more or you can try something different if the first one hasn't worked. So the benefit of the aromatic obviously is it's consistently, so if you pop that next to your baby's bed, like it's a consistent small dosage the whole time, so that's one of the benefits. But I do love topical application, especially for toddlers who won't sit long enough next to a diffuser to be getting those benefits. They're on the go the whole time, so I love being able to just whack some oils on Hope's feet and know that she's
and actually just thinking like and processing what you're saying, like multiple oils at the same time is okay.
So as you get to explore the world of essential oils, you will know, you will get to understand that different oils obviously do different things, and there is power in combining them. Obviously you're sticking to the same dilution rate. So for example, for a newborn baby, if you use 2 drops of essential oil in a 10 ml roller, you would do, if you wanted to combine oils, you would do 1 drop of each oil instead of 2 of the same. So you're keeping the dilution the same, the safe level for the age of the child, but you are mixing and getting different chemical constituents doing what you want them to do in that mix.
Awesome. Wow, it's amazing. I'm actually amazed. So intriguing. Okay, so I guess we've talked a little bit about how these oils work in terms of the absorption and the way that it, the limbic, the limbic system in the brain. Where would a mum start with oils, especially in relation to this topic of sleep and settling, maternal anxiety?
So my advice is to try and work alongside someone. So if you're already dealing with somebody with essential oils, go back to that person. But if you don't currently have a contact, please do get in contact with me, because I think one of the benefits of purchasing essential oils through somebody else is that you get that ongoing support and education. It's all very well going to the pharmacy, going to the health food shop, purchasing your oils there, you get them home and you're like, I don't know how to use this, I don't know how to use them safely, I don't know how to dilute them. Whereas if you're purchasing through somebody else, you are getting that person to be able to text at whatever time and be like, I forgot what you said, because we do, right? We're mums, like you're already sleep deprived, like you're gonna forget. You're gonna have that ongoing support, ongoing education, ongoing community in terms of Facebook groups, to be able to plug in and continue to get inspired on new ways to incorporate your oils. I usually say that purchasing kind of one of our starter kits is a great way to start, because you get lots of little vials to do a lot of different things that is going to cover and be your kind of first aid kit. So you're going to get things for pain, you'll get things for anxiety, you'll get things for digestion, sleep, stress, all of the issues, hormonal support, all of the things that you're looking for postpartum. In a nice little kit, you'll get things to help baby breathe the first time that they get congested. So you're kind of covered with everything in that kit.
Awesome.
But it's absolutely, we can customize it to your budget. So however much you want to spend, we can make it work for you. So there's lots of different options.
Yeah, beautiful. And probably customize it to your baby's needs as well.
Absolutely.
If you've got any specifics. That's awesome. Okay, and to conclude, as a mum, a nurse and an oil specialist, do you have any tips or tricks that you would be keen to share? Anything on top of what we've already discussed? Any tips and tricks?
Well, I'm definitely no expert. I mean, I've only got one child. So, but I think for me, it goes to personality. Like, I am a big believer. So I am quite a type A personality. I don't know if you can tell by that. But for me, when I was first in a position with a newborn, I needed a plan. Like, and yes, of course, the baby didn't always follow my specific plan, and that caused me to have to reassess and, levels of anxiety. But I think for me, knowing, okay, I want this child to be, sleeping every 3 hours, whatever it was, I needed to know where I was going. I wasn't one of those mums that was just like go with the flow, because that to me would have triggered my anxiety. So I think my biggest thing is know yourself.
Absolutely.
Know what is going to make you feel the most comfortable and the most in control of your situation.
Absolutely, that's so gold.
If for you the attending to babies' every need is what makes you feel comfortable, then do that. So I don't think there's some fast rule, for how to do it. I think it's about knowing what's going to make you feel the most comfortable in that new unfamiliar situation.
That is amazing wisdom, Nikki, and amazing wisdom and knowledge with this product, and I just am so grateful that you shared so freely like that.
So
and so what I'll do is I'll put a link for Nikki. So if anyone wants to make contact in regards to oils, then you'll be able to do so. And
sounds good.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And sorry about the interruption with my mum calling.
See you guys.